Today on Skyrider Limited, it's the season finale for Kite Maker's Corner. Welcome back to Skyrider Limited and the final episode of this season of the Kite Maker's Corner. It just flashed right by. 11 episodes is the longest season I've done yet, and I was pretty stoked on that. So, let's jump right into it. Today's guest is Mike Shaw. Mike is another one of my really favorite kite artists that I've become aware of more recently. Mike is another great use of color, and Deb in the last episode is also really passionately sharing native art and native stories. Just beautiful uses of color, and also a really passionate understanding for the history of the images that he's using, which I really, really enjoyed. I also owe Mike the biggest thank you in all of these, because Mike had to do it twice. I did not plan well. I was a bad YouTuber. And I did not bring a spare battery with me when I went to dinner and started cornering people. But on top of that, I brought a battery I had been using all day. And so right as we started filming Mike the first time, it died. And I had to go running 3 blocks across Niagara Falls to go get another battery so that we could get Mike included in these, because I really wanted to have him as part of this series. So an extra special thank you to Mike for putting up with my nonsense on that. A reminder, one last time, the Kite Maker Corner questions that I put to all of our kite artists are: what is your favorite kite you've ever owned, your favorite kite you've ever flown, and your favorite design? Mike took some time and thought about it and told us some great stories, so we'll dive right into those. So, back for another Kite Maker Corner, and I'm with Mike Shaw. Mike, kite artist, kite maker, beautiful indigenous art on really wonderful kites. One of my kind of favorites that I've been seeing recently. So, Kite Maker Corner questions. We got 3 of them for you. Favorite kite you've ever owned?
Favorite kite I've ever owned is a Kachina kite that I built a few years ago, honoring the Hopi Nation. It is one that is used by many entrepreneurs. It's called the Snow Kachina. So he shows up on a lot of, if you will, white man's advertisements for their slopes. So I felt a little more comfortable using it. Tell you one fun story about it, though, if you'd like.
Please.
I'd ask a Kachina carver who I'd come to know if it was okay if an old white guy could do a Kachina. And he said to me, everybody can make a Kachina. Yours, and he's less tight than you, he said, yours will have a bad spirit. And I said, okay, I'll get to know my kite well and we'll make friends. The first night, the kite stood up in the kite room when it was all done. It was kind of a snowy, cold night in the high country of Arizona. And we apparently had a broken pipe because the outside faucet isn't gushing. I know, man, that's bad news. I walk out and I simply walk up and turn the knob and it shuts off. And there is not one footprint in the snow anywhere around there. And I learned what he meant about my Kachina having a bad spirit. We have since come to agreement. In fact, I went up to the Hopi Mesas and had a chat with that Kachina and told him about my respect and love and admiration. And since then, we've gotten along great.
I love that. So then, your favorite kite you have ever flown?
Is a Kachina kite? No. Favorite kite I like to fly is actually a more current kite, and it's not Native American. In fact, it's not at this convention. It's a chicken kite.
Chicken.
Yeah, I have two chicken kites, two small chickens, or 2 small kites. Well, they're about 8 foot tall, but they're kind of skinny. And one is called OKC, Off Kilter Chicken. It makes people smile and laugh. So I fly that guy quite often. And he's old and gray. He's all cockeyed. Sewing in it is very crooked on purpose. One eye is higher than the other, and he's got this chicken with a silly grin.
I love that. Okay, so then your favorite design.
Favorite design. Uh, I like to experiment, if you will, using traditional architectures, Japanese architecture, or something I just kind of come up with. So there's a lot of favorites in that category, I guess. My most favorite just kind of came up with is what I've been flying this week. It's kind of like a noodle, a tall rectangular kite bowed, but instead of being a rectangle, the top is curved. And so it looks like a old European pear top noodle or pear top, and it comes to a point at the bottom. So I just call it my pear top noodle.
Fair enough. Mike, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Always fun to chat about them.
Thanks.
Okay.
GoPro. Well, that is it for this series of Kite Maker Corner and for our time with Mike Shaw. Thank you all so much for watching. I've said it a few times. This is my favorite series. I'm not a huge single line kite collector or flyer, though my dad definitely collected some really cool pieces of art that I love that we still have, and every once in a while I'll go and fly one of them. But I do love creators, and I love all the different approaches that they bring. And I've enjoyed so much doing these and getting to hear the different answers because they're such open-ended questions. I've been jokingly referring to them as the hardest easy questions on the planet. That they bring these wonderfully different answers from everybody, and answers that you may not necessarily expect. I really, really love that about this series, and also getting to chat about their work. I'm considering sort of expanding from here and doing another series where we talk more in depth with these various kite artists. So be on the lookout for that. And until next time, we will see you out there, Skyrider.